whatever you want.
Boom. We are live, man. This thing is awesome. We're live. We're live. We're live. Cody's going to drain a bucket right now live. There we go. I wonder, where do we see comments and things? Like if people join and such, do you have to look on the actual platform?
No,
like
they should have to the right side in the comments.
It would? Okay.
Not private chat.
Comments. I see. Cool. Yep. All right, man. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. The Landon McCarter will be joining us here shortly. We're just talking agency acquisition. So why don't you share a little bit about that? I mean, obviously everybody knows who you are, so no introduction needed, but why don't you share a little bit about the newest venture as you missed that bucket?
Yeah, that was a brick.
What's up, Mateo? How you doing, buddy?
They call that a brick, Mateo.
That was a brick. That was an air ball.
Yeah, I hit the rim. Come on.
Oh, okay. Hard to see from here.
Yeah, that's true.
So tell us about this Askins Acquisitions, man. It sounds interesting. You know, I'm in with anything you're doing, so would love to hear about it.
Well, the dude, I need $75,000 from 4 people. Okay, you in?
I have.
He's in. See?
I have 210. I got 210 right here.
Perfect.
That can get me like a 0.5%, right?
Yes, that's half of a half.
There we go.
So I am noticing that I've just seen several people acquire agencies. There's a ton of money in it. I want to bring investors together to buy companies all over the country. We're looking at 5 different deals right now. 2 really, I just had a meeting with Andy. You saw it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at 2 really good deals that are doing, let's just call it hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and also profiting hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
Okay.
That are renewal based. These are like health and Medicare focused. We're going to find deals and then come to ballers like Bradley Hannon and say, okay, let's make some money together forever.
Right. I love it.
Yeah.
So tell me, aside from just like a capital infusion to this agency, what are we going to do to help this agency? Like, obviously, if they're selling, some agencies are selling because, naturally they have a great business and they want an exit. Other businesses you might be acquiring because they're struggling, they're out of capital, they're, whatever isn't working. What kind of system do you have to kind of get them profitable quickly?
Yes. So we will be focused on acquiring ones that are exiting, that are highly profitable, by the way.
Okay.
I don't want to come in and start over and
I hear you.
I'm like, dude, once you're at a certain level, like you're like Bradley Hannon, you don't really want to start over.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Once you're used to driving a Range Rover, you don't want to drive a Prius.
Man, oh man. My wife just picked up my Range Rover, so now I have to drive a Cadillac, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's complaining about driving a Cadillac. Why? Why though? Because he's driving a Range, man. Like,
that's right.
That's right. What happens. So we're going to infuse my training mindset, sales ability into these companies. We're going to infuse a marketing company into these businesses. We're going to take advantage of having people like Brad a part of the deal to then go and help out the agency every so often. Yeah, he is. He really is. And we're going to find people that want to help it. Right? It's more of like you got your own business that you control and that you run and that pays you well. So these would be more of like passive investors that just want to receive checks in the mail.
Whoa. Hold on. Stop right there. I don't do anything passive, bro. There's nothing that I do that's passive. So I'm not going to be the passive guy. I am aggressive. That's right. So the first thing that comes to mind, obviously, is you're a master insurance trainer, right? But when let's say Askins Acquisitions acquires a health insurance agency, right? 8% Nation, baby.
Come on now.
I did say we're going to talk about that, so we're definitely going to talk about that. I just don't like pop sockets, man. I'm just not a pop socket guy. I do have that, although it's not needed in Florida anymore. And I have my backpack. Dude, cool thing. I was traveling one time. I was in an airport And dude, the backpacks that say 8% Nation, it's a conversation starter. So I've had like a couple different people ask me what it is. And then I had one person who exactly, is that my bag, dude?
It's yours.
I thought I was the only one.
It's a
I
sick
had
bag.
I had a guy who actually knew what it was. Like, oh, dude, 8% Nation, man, I love Cody Askins. You do insurance? And I'm like, sure do. That's awesome. But
dude, how cool is that? Actually, you know what's funny on that note? Sorry to interrupt. On that note, no joke.
You're good.
I've been recognized. I know this is going to sound ridiculous. Okay, I've been recognized in airports at least 3 times.
That's crazy.
It's stupid.
It's crazy. Hey, funny story. I was at the they call it the wheel doctor. I curbed one of my wheels, right? And this guy comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, are you Brad?" And I go, "Yeah." I'm like, "Why, yes, I am." And he's like, "Oh, awesome, man." He's like, "Yeah, so this is my car." I'm like, "Wait, how do you know me?" And he's like, "We talked on the phone. You're gonna look at my car." And I'm like, "Oh man, I think the owner of this business, his name is Brad. You're looking for him. Sorry, wrong Brad." But I was like, for a moment, I was like, "Man, am I Cody Askins? Like, are people recognizing me?" And then I'm like, "Oh well, sometimes people do know who I am, so I figured maybe you knew me, but yeah, the Brad you're looking for is in there." But I'm curious to know. So all right, we know in business, right? There's financial capital, right? There's a financial investment, and then you've got sweat equity. Right. So when it comes to, like, let's say you acquire a health insurance agency, right? But
which I'm looking at one right now that we'll just say is earning a lot of money.
Is it called Hannon Healthcare Solutions?
Yeah, I'm going to buy you out.
Is it called Elite Performance Insurance Company?
How much would you need?
Oh man, at least $3 million. Yeah. At least. B and C. I love that. B and C, bringing the fire. B and C. I wish I could see who said that, man. It just says
like that old what was that old aspirin called? It was BC, wasn't it?
BC powder, dude. BC powder. That's the best. Yeah. That was you? Oh, that was E-Dub. All right. So let's say you acquire a health insurance agency, right? Obviously they're doing something right because they're performing. But when it comes to, like, right now, I mean, let's say you acquired a health insurance agency today. Okay. Things are rapidly changing in that market, right? So are you leaving leadership in place? Is it going to be because I know we might just walk in and just fire everybody, right? Start over. But
yes.
But that's then we're starting over. We don't want to do that.
And if that's what's best for the company, I'm okay doing it. Like everybody else watching it, they're like, "Dude, I'm never firing nobody." Well, yeah. You're never going to get to Bradley Hannon's level then.
Oof, man, I'm guilty of that myself, man. I'm guilty of it's tough, dude. It's a tough thing, but sometimes you got to look at it as, obviously you're doing. I mean, if they're not performing, then it's not what's best for them either. So you firing somebody may just lead them into their destiny, right? It's like, hey, man, you're good at something, but it's not this, and so you got to go, man. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Maybe go try something else. So. It works. But that being said, like, is there going to be, is it purely financial? Is there going to be, like, when you need an expert in that field, let's say you're doing a brick and mortar Medicare agency, would you bring a Justin Brock with both financial capital would get him, let's say 20%, and then his expertise would get him an extra 5% of that company? Or are you doing purely financial, this is a profit share, that type of deal? Or is it, both? Purely
financial, because we all bring something to the table, and long term, it benefits all of us for it to be successful, right? Yeah. So my goal really with a lot of these things that we're looking at is, okay, let's just say hypothetically something earned $750,000 a year, right? Which in the grand scheme of things, guys, that's a small business, right? Like Jesse Itzler, I was listening to his new book, Living with a SEAL, this morning, and he talked about how they were evaluating a $5 million company and how it was a really small company. And I'm like, this dude's thinking on a whole nother level, But we're all wanting to.
He's amazing, dude. Jesse Itzler's unbelievable,
ridiculous. So I'm like, okay, 750K, okay, good. How can we get it to 1.5 million? In the next 36 months? Well, I'll be honest. I saw my dad buy an agency and double the revenue that came out of it within 24 months.
Wow.
Boom. Do you think that was a good investment?
I think that was a great investment. I think I'm in the wrong business. I think instead of selling insurance and training agents to sell insurance, I think I just need to be in the acquisition of agency business. That's another level, buddy.
BA Acquisitions. Bad Askins Acquisitions. BA
Bad Askins. I love that. That's great, dude. That is that could be catchy, man. That could be catchy. You know, we had Dante Cantu in the room the other day at Clubhouse, right? Kind of switching to the Clubhouse discussion, and he was dropping absolute bombs. And after I got off the meeting, I thought, man, it would have been great if I would have said, hey, listen, guys, if Dante can do it, you can too. Get it? I was like, man, I should have said that. That would have been great. But man, he's awesome. But Clubhouse has been fun lately, right?
Yes.
Dude, not just fun, but like, I mean, there's been some extreme value, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's just been so good. People have been dropping bombs. People have been asking questions. People have been answering questions. Like, people are asking me questions that they would never get a chance to ask me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm having Christian Brindle ask me questions where I'm like, man, I would normally charge like 10 grand for that.
But it's Clubhouse, so it's free. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, Grant Cardone was in there. Like, I was trying my best to avoid it. I've actually got 2 phones now. One is for Clubhouse, one is for phone calls. And I just deleted everything off of this phone except for Clubhouse. That's smart. And so I'm trying to avoid it the other day, right? Because it can be that app can really consume you. You can spend some time in there. So I'm trying to ignore the thing. And I keep getting notifications that Grant Cardone is in this room, then Grant Cardone's in that room. And I'm like, man, I just got to jump into some of these things. And dude, he sits there. What he charges for a 1 hour one-on-one session, right?
25.
What is it like? I was going to say 25 grand, right? Well, I mean, I had a freaking 1 hour session. It might not have been one-on-one, but I had a session for 1 hour listening to him talk about just, anything and everything. So it's been crazy. Brad Lee was on there. Tim Story's on there. Cody Askins is on there. All of these guys. And it's been, extremely valuable. So what would you say you see like kind of the future with when it comes to insurance, how that could help insurance agents?
I mean, it gives them a platform to network, to build relationships, to meet people. I mean, it gives them a chance to get around big time people that they would never, like, they would just watch. Like, people are coming up all the time on Clubhouse, saying, dude, I love your YouTube videos, man. What do you think about this? What would you do here? How would you do this? And it's like, dude, a lot of times too, most people don't realize it's not like I've personally went through the situation of what they're asking me. A lot of times that's true, but just from hanging out with people like you and Justin and my dad and Landon and other people, I'm learning at a much faster pace than most people because of the people that I have in my life, the conversations I have on a daily basis, the people I listen to, the private briefings we do, like for new ideas. Like, I'm learning at such a rapid pace because of the environment and the killers that I talk to on a daily basis.
Dude, isn't it crazy how when you get moving like that, like you tend to just forget about anything that is like those limiting beliefs and the things that could hold you back, or the distractions just become so much smaller. Like, it's like you're moving further away from it, right? Like, so like you're in an airplane and houses look so tiny, man. Like you look down and you can't even, it just looks like a speck. And that's the way, like, when you get moving so fast. Like, I walked out in the office today and I said, who normally sits there? And everyone started cracking up because I'm like, I didn't know who sits. Hey man, I didn't know if someone moved seats or whatever. I only have like 10 agents in the office. It's not like we have 100 agents. I joke, right? But I know what's going on, but it's like those little things that aren't really important just aren't really important. You know what I mean? Like, what's important is the fact that, man, we're doing big things. I want to be in on Askins Acquisitions. I want to be able to drop 75 grand. And so I've got to move. I've got to keep moving, and I got to stay away from the things that could potentially hold me back. So it's been incredible. I don't know what deal I'm going to close today, but you might have saw my story earlier, dude. I'm going to close a big deal. Like, someone's got money that's my money, right? Who's got my money? And I know somebody's got it. So if you're on this, if you're watching this and you got money, let me know.
They do. They got just everybody. Brad's going to put his Venmo in chat, and then we're all just going to bang on him and send him some money.
Dude, do it. I need it.
I need it. Right? I mean, you've earned it.
I need it, man. I bought 50 tickets to 8% Nation, right? They're selling out quick. I actually probably have most of them spoken for. But man, I've got tickets to 8% Nation. I want to bring 50 people there. I want to get those spoken for, and then I want to buy 50 more.
Like, I can tell you, people listening need to freaking hit up Brad for a ticket. Because why? Because you get access to lunches both days with speakers. You get access to VIP party on Friday night. You get access to a premier seat. And if you come to me, I'm going to charge you $650. Brad's probably not going to charge you $650.
$649, baby. $649 through me. Maybe the 50 cents as well. And what you forgot too is they get access to my event that I'm hosting, right? Which will be, it'll be a brief event, not to take away, but to add in a little bit of, a little bit of a twist. And also the breakout session, right? If you buy the ticket from me, you have to come to my breakout session, period. Like you can't go to Pete Fournier's because there won't be room in there anyways. It'll be a packed house, and I'll need a few of you guys in my breakout session. So I'm excited about that, man. This is it's been too fun. I always go back to the first conversation that we ever had where I was like, man, I don't know what exactly I'm going to do next, but like, I know that I don't want to be like coaching and training agents like you. I'm like, I like what I do, but like, dude, this is so fun. It's being that promoter, right? Which I guess like you would be, you would label yourself as a promoter, right? Like you're a phenomenal trainer, but like you promote really, really well. And dude, promoting is so fun, right? Because it's like
blast.
It's stuff you believe in too. We were talking about events actually on Clubhouse yesterday and how impactful they are and things. And Pete was even saying like, there's a lot of people actually, but Pete was one of them that used to believe that events were just full of fluff and hype and, whatever, but now he doesn't miss them. Like he understands the importance of events, and it's just unbelievable. It's
crazy how that's actually the case too, because I think I used to be a little bit of that person. Now we're not only throwing them, but I'm attending them. And I'm telling you, whoever's watching right now, you want your whole business to freaking change. You want your mindset to level up. You want to meet incredible people, and you want your income to grow, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Coming to an event will do that for you. Trust me.
100%. 100%. You know what else will do that for you? Spending a bunch of money that you don't really have. I love, that's my favorite.
Yes.
Like income hack is just like spend it anyways, right? Like Grant says, like, hey man, I just can't afford it. I know you can't afford it. I wouldn't be able to afford it either. Just buy it anyways. Like just do it.
I'm actually going into here in about 26 minutes. I'll probably have to leave 30 minutes, whatever. I'm going to invest $100,000 into a rental property.
Oh, where at? Florida, right?
I wish. This is just a local property here, like 30 minutes from Springfield, but it'll cash flow from day one. So it's already got already got like all the renters are already in it paying.
Wow. Diversification. Is it multifamily?
This one is, I'm looking at a few different ones. I'm looking at a house. I'm looking at 10 units. I'm looking at some different ones, but I think my wife's wanting to start with a single family home that she can flip just to do it. Okay. So I'm like, I don't care. I'll give you the $100,000. You do whatever you want. I don't.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And what else are you doing? You're pulling a bunch of cash out of the bank here soon, right? What's that for? Tell us about that.
Always, right? I need more money.
Right.
There's some stuff I want, man. I love Devin said that, by the way. That's right. That's big. I want this year, I want to invest in a bunch of rental property. I want to acquire some insurance agencies.
Yeah, but what specifically are you getting the cash out? How much cash are you taking out? And what are you going to do with it?
Oh, the $117,361.30, right?
You heard it here first. All $117,000.
Yes, I'm gonna shoot some promotional ads. I've also got a book coming out called 0 to 6 Figures, so I'm going to use that as a tie-in to the book.
Beautiful.
And yes, we're taking $117,000 out of the bank. We're putting it in a briefcase. It takes some time to get that kind of cash, which is weird to me, but whatever. And then we're going to shoot ads and videos about how every insurance agent, every person on the planet can go from 0 to 6 figures. And this is what it looks like.
Yeah, right. All that cash. When are you filming that? Because I'll have to come up, man. I might just sneak out with a couple dollars.
That's what I thought. April the 5th.
Oh, wow. I'll be in North Carolina that day.
April the 5th.
Close.
1.5 weeks from today.
Right on, man. Well, I wanted to, I obviously wanted to talk, 8% Nation. We jumped into it a little bit, but I want to know, you extended it to 3 days, right? Which, I didn't even know. I get a lot of the insider info, but that one I didn't even know. So I'm like, crap, man, I'm going to get an extra night at the hotel. So you extended to 3 days. Obviously the purpose is to squeeze in some more, speakers and things, but can you give us a little teaser on how that schedule is going to break up over the 3 days?
Yes. So we're going to tie it into 1 day's all mindset, 1 day's all marketing, and 1 day's all sales. That's the triangle of what I believe every successful person has.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, oh man. So you're doing 1 full day of just speakers that are talking marketing, 1 full day of sales, which I'd imagine you'll be doing the marketing, Landon will be doing the sales.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one?
Mindset.
I love it, man.
Which,
and you know what?
You've got all 3, by the way,
Well, I live in the mindset area. That's my favorite. The marketing, what's funny is Ty actually reached out to me the other day and he said, "Hey man, would love some advice on ads that you're running and things like that." I said, "Walk next door." Go to Landon, because I don't even know what ads they're running and they're just running the ads for me. So your best bet is to go talk to Landon about what is working for my team and run those ads. So, but with that said, I am going to come up there in the near future and hopefully do some training with Ty and the team on the under 65, especially with this. I mean, dude, after April 1st, it's going to be a little silly because there's just, it's just a 6-month open enrollment. It's going all the way till August now. So even more than 6 months, I guess, right? Or 4 months, I guess. So
what's your thoughts on that? Do you like that? Do you hate that?
I see. So for me, the glass is always half full, right? I mean, the opportunity is going to exist regardless. I mean, it's going to be a great opportunity if you make it a great opportunity, right? So a lot of people are like, well, there just won't be the hype in open enrollment, but like, hey man, if you take advantage of the next 4 months and then open enrollment, like you're going to make more money, like period. Other people are like, well, it's going to just really do a lot of damage to the short-term medical market and the the private health insurance market. It's going to kind of take away from that. But listen, there's always ebbs and flows, and whatever I've learned, the biggest thing I've learned is just doing the right thing, right, is going to make you money. So if you just continue to put people where they belong, right, whether that's ACA, private plan, whatever, and you don't worry about the money will take care of itself, right? I mean, it just does. And I just actually, to tease a little YouTube video I did, I just recorded yesterday or the day before. You're going to love this, Cody. Selling 3. You think you could sell 3 policies a week for $550 a month? You think you could sell 3?
Yeah.
You think you can do it for 50 weeks straight?
Yeah, I think I could do it for 500 weeks straight. But
what do you think? What do you think? 50 weeks straight of 3 policies at $550 would net you as far as income?
You want me to say what I thought before or what I think now?
I mean, split the difference, I guess.
If I was going to say before, I would have said, probably like 75 grand, but knowing you, it's probably like $250,000.
It's $243,000. You were almost dead on.
Yeah.
That is, so I did an example, or I used a scenario of a 40-year-old male, 40-year-old female, making like, 150 grand a year total, right? Now, obviously, when you look at that income filter, you are going to narrow down the market. Like your market is going to be narrowed down because you're looking for people that are making over 150 grand together. But dude, there's a lot of people making over, it's still a huge market. You know what I mean? And so that is 3 policies for a husband and wife, 40 years old, $550 a month. That's at like a street level comp. It would be, if you do that, sell 3 policies, that's almost $5 grand a week in commission and $250,000 over the course of a year. If you can do it for 50 weeks straight.
Well, think about that though. Like if all you did was focus on finding the right people every single week and you stopped all this extra crap and you were like, okay, for the next 30 days, I'm going to go as hard as I can and I'm going to find the people that hit this niche and I'm going to close 12 of them. I'm going to find 120 and I'm just going to close 12. Like if you had to do it and your life depended on it, could you pull it off? Like
100%.
You could in a freaking week. I could in 6 days. And
yeah, I hear you. Here's how I think of it. Here's the perfect analogy for this too, because yes, you're gonna find those people, but the other people that you come across, you can still help. So what I picture, right, is like sifting through mud or dirt for gold, right? When you're sifting for gold, you're going through a lot of freaking dirt, right? If you've ever watched that show, Gold Rush or whatever, you see like they're grinding day in and day out. They're sifting through mud. They're looking for gold. Okay. And when they find that gold, that makes some money. But imagine you have a sifter, right? And the dirt that's coming through, you're separating, you're selling that dirt. Okay. You're making like $20, but you're still making money. But then you find the gold and it's like, boom, and there's your $1,500 in commission. And also, hey, by the way, all the dirt, and I hate to talk about
insurance conference I've ever been to. It's my 2nd year in a row.
What is that?
You didn't catch it? What was it?
No. Oh, it was me saying the best conference ever or whatever.
It was it was your 8% testimonial, but I was gonna wait and then it just started playing. So there we go.
It was meant to be. So yeah, imagine that the dirt is profitable as well as the gold. And I mean, that's the whole idea. And if you're talking to 120 people, really, you should be talking to like 120 people a day. I tell my agents, I tell everybody, your goal should be to have 100 conversations a day, not make 100 calls. You should have 100 connections, I should say. You don't have conversations. That might be, too many for conversation, but people are going to hang up on you. People are going to tell you no right away. You're going to breeze through those ones. You can have 100 conversations a day. And if you do, right, you're going to find a lot of that dirt, but then you might find one little gold nugget that's going to make you, $1,500 or $1,000 or whatever. Right. So it's crazy to me. The mindset that some people have when something like this happens, like when the news breaks, they immediately go to, oh, great. Like, oh, there goes everything. We're not going to be able to make any money now. And if you believe that, it will be true. Right. But if you believe you can make the most of it, that will be true as well.
I asked myself this question when that came out. Right. When I learned that it was extended, and I learned that because of you, I'm like, I have no flipping clue. Nor do I really care, to be honest.
Right.
My first thought was, Brad will view this as an opportunity while everyone else complains. First thought, I'm like, everybody else is going to flip and whine and complain and make excuses, and they're going to psych themselves out. How you talk to yourself matters. And Brad's going to say, this is an opportunity. At first, he's going to think, oh, crap, naturally, right? That's normal. But then he's going to say, dude, this is an opportunity.
Yeah.
Get your mind right. And everybody else is going to be around you is going to be flipping, complaining.
Yeah.
Dude, it's an opportunity to grab a lot of business is what I see.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, and it's the data too. Like, I mean, you're literally, what doesn't matter if you're making $20 a year on that policy or $20 a month, right? Once you have them as a client, right? Client acquisition is everything. Once you have them as a client, you don't know down the road. I think one of the coolest stories, man, is, and I'll probably butcher it a little bit, but the CEO of my company, right, Joe Eichmann, he's an incredible leader. He's an awesome guy. But when he started in insurance, or before he started in insurance, he was a valet, right? He was parking cars. Some guy told him, he was a brain surgeon, told him, well, son, the reason why I get paid more is because the bigger the problem you solve, the bigger the paycheck, right? So Joe started solving bigger problems. Well, he met a guy I think he sold them a policy, made like a couple $100, I guess is really the kind of the baseline of that story. Is he didn't make much money off that original policy. But then like years later, as this guy was a client, he called him and he said, hey, again, I'm going to butcher this probably, but he called him and said, hey, the state is giving me $500,000 that I have to spend on, and I don't know the exact number, but I'm just saying that $500,000 that I have to spend on insurance, right? Can you help me? He solved that problem. He made a massive paycheck, and he's been friends with that guy ever since because he took the opportunity. So again, it doesn't matter if you're making $20 a month off that policy or $20 a year. You don't know. That person that has $40,000 in the bank or $20,000 in the bank or is just over the Medicaid threshold, and you're selling them an ACA plan and you're not making any money on it really. That person may start a business the following year or years later that has hundreds of employees, that grows to hundreds of employees that now they need you, and you took care of them when it mattered. So you absolutely have to keep that in mind. Oh man, I thought you were about to roll over the whiteboard.
You never know.
Uh-oh.
When you're going to land the knockout punch, bro. You never know.
Right, man. That's right. Actually, Grant said it this morning on the training that I was doing. We train every morning. We jump in to Grant Cardone for about 15 minutes. I talk for about 10, 15, sometimes forever, and then we go to Grant Cardone for a minute. And this morning he said, "Man, in your life, you'll find one deal, you'll close one deal that's going to change your life." And he's like, "I already found that deal. It changed my life. Now I'm looking for the next one." And I'm like, dude, that's so great, because that really is. I mean, dude, that's what got me motivated this morning to feel like, man, I'm going to go looking for that deal. Like, I'm going to go looking for that one big deal. Like, I'm going to go whale hunting, right? I'm going to have some fun.
Well, dude, people can go out and collect. I learned this a long time ago, dude. I can go collect $200 at a time, or I can go put on conferences with 1,000 people. Or I can acquire agencies for $2 million, or I can go ask investors for $75K, or I can go buy real estate property for $100,000, or I can go, X. Like I can, or we can start. I told our team this morning, I'm like, dude, you guys are in our marketing building, which is literally right there, a different building. I'm like, I said, who? I told them, I said, raise your hand if you believe that $25,000 is a lot of money. Most of them raised their hand. I said, that's the problem.
Yep.
The moment you solve that, everything else will change.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you get there, then it's like, okay, now I'm here. Now what? Right. And there's people that are watching this probably, and there's people that will see this, that they respond to that comment, right? Their inner self is like, oh yeah, easy for him to say, right? Or whatever that is, like whatever, like you're telling yourself when you hear that, is the reason why money does not flow to you, right? You're literally stopping the flow of money because of the way you view money, right? Like if you view money as a bad thing or, whatever, it's not going to come to you. Like if I don't like Cody or he doesn't like me, he's not going to come hang around me, right? If you don't like money, I mean, I'm not saying you have to love money, but like if you don't, have that mindset, it's going to avoid you. Like it's literally going to avoid you. And I can speak to that because I was that person. Like I was that person making $25,000, $30,000 a year. If I was lucky, in construction, working my butt off, thinking this is it, man. This is my life. And hey, I'm happy. I'm content. I'm complacent really was what it was. Yeah. But I didn't view money like that. I didn't view money as a tool. I didn't view money as an opportunity to make a difference, make a bigger impact. Like the more money you have, the more impact you can make. That's a fact, right?
Yeah. What flipped the script for you though? Because there's a lot of people out there that are making 25, 30, 60, 80 grand.
Dude, freaking insurance, man. Insurance.
Because you to go from 20, 30K to the monster you are today and go from not really caring about money to driving a Range Rover. What freaking flipped in you, man? Like something woke up.
Yeah. I think it was, that first year that I made six figures, and I really knew I had another gear, right? I did good, but there's a whole lot of things I could do better. Like I just knew I had that other gear, and I feel the same way now. And you feel that way. And like, man, look at the business and it's like, dude, we did really good. Like we're having a great week. We're having a great year, whatever that is. And then you look back and you're like, but if I could do this or better, and I could do this better, we can double that. We can triple that. You know what I mean? I was talking to one of my friends today, actually at the gym this morning. And he's like, dude, I don't know what the heck's going on, but every month the team is up 30%, 30% over the month before. So literally, 3 months, you've just doubled your production, and then 3 more months. And I'm like, dude, that's incredible, man. Like that. And I said, what do you think it is? Like what is it? Just culture, man. It's culture. It's the mindset. It's the limiting belief is now off. They know what they're capable of. And now they can hit it. And I don't even think they know what they're capable of. I don't think most people do know what they're capable of. In the video that I'm dropping next week, I talk about this a little bit. And we've heard it said before. I want to say I heard it from Justin Brock. I'll give him some credit on it. He said people underestimate what they can do in the short, or overestimate what they can do in the short term and underestimate what they can do in the long term. And I think that is just so true, man. And so the fact that you're putting on a conference, spending a whole day on mindset, there it is. Spending a whole day on mindset, I think is so important, man. And I hope people don't miss that. And I hope people don't,
well, dude, for everything to change, you got to change. And I can tell everybody watching this right now, the 14 that are on in the group, which it took me 15 minutes to realize where you were going live, by the way. This is the only thing that can hold you back from getting whatever you want.
Yeah.
If like how you talk to yourself matters. Most people are negative, they're whiny, they're complaining, they make excuses, they blame everybody else. Winners accept responsibility and they blame themselves. All right. So those watching, the moment you start accepting responsibility for your failures and your successes and everything, right? I had a crappy year. It wasn't COVID's fault. It was my fault. Okay. And then they start accepting responsibility, and then you start flipping the whole script.
You're good. You just cut out a little bit.
And saying, dude, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. I'm the secret sauce. Brad is the most valuable asset in his life.
Yeah, but do you really take responsibility for everything? Like, what if something just happened to you and you didn't do you still take responsibility for that too?
It wasn't in my control. Who cares?
That's right.
Right. So
everything in the world you take responsibility for.
We had someone literally running an ad to a landing page with pictures of me on it, trying to sell their course while calling me a ripoff at the same time. We got wind of it. I accept responsibility that I got.
I can't believe you found my landing page, bro.
yeah, exactly. So then Andy shut that down real quick, or I can promise you our attorneys would have.
Yeah,
however,
right.
And it's like who sells something dissing somebody else, number one. But I take full responsibility because the dude wants to be me.
Yeah. Hey, man, I get it. And that's funny that we already just hit on 2 of the 3 points. I think there was 3 that I recorded yesterday for mistakes that new agents make. And that's one of the biggest ones, man. No personal accountability. And you've got to hold yourself to that higher standard. You literally when you do really well, you can look back and probably tell yourself like, hey, I got another gear. Like I know I have another gear.
I've got 100 more.
Yeah. And you haven't even hit the next one. And then when you do hit the next one, it's like, hey, and that's the abundance mindset. That's the, living life to the fullest type mindset. I mean, hey, it's not for everybody. I get it. Some people want to, I don't know what they want to do, but
they want to get notified on their phone like you do every 14 seconds. Because you're freaking Bradley Hannon.
That was sweet, man.
Everybody wants time with Brad.
Hey, speaking of that, here's one thing. While we're live here, while we've got 14 viewers, and there will be more watching the replay, and I can't see how many are watching on YouTube live and things. But here's what I'll say, man. I have had more people reach out in the last 3 days, 2-3 days, telling me, hey, man, thanks so much for the videos and the training, and I've learned so much from you, and I'm getting into insurance, right? Like, or hey, I just started with this company, or whatever the case is, and they didn't come to me, right? And I'm a little like, my pride is hurt a little bit in those moments. I'm certainly happy for somebody like, hey, man, I'm so happy you made that jump. That's awesome. Like whatever. Yeah. But dude, why didn't you come to me? So like, I've got to say, while we're live, while we, while we're watching the replay, and if you're watching the replay, if you're out there and you're like, hey man, I love what Brad Hannon does. I would love to, work with him, dude, reach out, man, reach out and let's work together, because honestly, like that's my biggest goal right now, is just to mentor agents to, that 6-figure mark with insurance. And dude, we're talking this on Clubhouse. Like, so many people look at compensation and they look at like leads and things like that, but they forget the most crucial piece. And that's, will I have a good mentor? Like, is my upline going to be the person that can help me with my problems or help me get, to that next level?
They may be intimidated by you and your guns and red hair and tan and like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
You're a big dude.
This is not tan. This is red.
You're called Big Time Bradley Hannon for a reason.
Oh my goodness. I love how that nickname is sticking. I don't know that. Don't know that I love it. I don't know that I love it. I just like Brad Hannon for sure.
Until you hate it, people are going to start keep using it. So,
all right. So I know you've got 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah. I know you've got like 5 minutes left. So we'll wrap this up here in just a minute. This has proved to be really valuable. This is the first time I've used this tool, and so we really just wanted to test it out. But man, I think you've shared some serious value. I think we've talked about some awesome stuff. But the one thing that I want to know as we kind of close this out is, one, what's your numbers goal, like number of people that attend this year for 8% Nation, and two, what's your goal this year specifically with the conference? Like, what do you want to see different? What do you like what's different about this year, other than the fact it's 3 days?
1,000 people in the room. I don't care if I can put chairs outside the room and they can hear. That's their fault for not buying a closer ticket. That's not my. I accept responsibility.
Right.
Two. The experience, the speaker talent, and the overall theme, I can promise you, will make the last 3 years look like child's play. And 3, we're going to elevate the entire party experience. We're even adding a welcome party the night before in the ballroom. I may or may not be hiring a big time performer to come in and perform before we kick it off. You missed that last night on Clubhouse because you were late.
Oh, did you share it?
Well, I can just tell you that we're looking heavily into several people, including Little John and Vanilla Ice.
Oh gosh, I did see the Vanilla Ice thing. I think Vanilla Ice would be cooler than Little John. I've seen Little John a couple of times. He's good, but Vanilla Ice would tear it up. Is he like got gray hair now, or is like how's he?
I don't know, but he's still doing it, man.
He's still doing it. That would be awesome, man. Well, listen, guys, as we wrap this up, obviously you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on Clubhouse. We actually started a club on Clubhouse called Insurance Influencers. So if you follow that, you'll get notified when we do rooms and things.
And just by following it, you immediately become an insurance influencer.
Immediately, like it just happens the second you press the button. But I would be doing you a huge disservice if I didn't say that 8% Nation really changed the way that I view not just events, but the insurance industry as a whole. If you can make it there, which you can, you need to be there. I've got 50 tickets. I've got 50 more coming. Hopefully when those sell, I want to promote this, not because, Cody's my good friend, love to do business with the guy, love to do life with the guy, but man, the event will change some lives and I want you there. Right. So any last thoughts, Cody?
Dude, you guys want to wake up? You want the knockout punch in your life? You want something to freaking take you to the next level? Okay. I want to be that for you. Brad wants to be that for you. We're putting on events to make sure that everything changes in your life. But if you don't show up, it's your own fault because you got to accept responsibility. Life passed by and it didn't get good for you, and it's all your fault.
That's the theme of this, will be accept personal responsibility. So thanks for coming on, man. This has been fun. If you're watching the replay, like I said, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll be dropping continuous content there. I'm having so much fun with it. Also, make sure you reach out to me. Just let me know what you'd like to see. I'm having a blast with this. So,
hey, I don't have a Range Rover, but I'm gonna go get in my Audi SQ8. All right.
That thing's quick, man. I think you would smoke me I know you would smoke me in a race. So it's like 550 horsepower.
Who wants to find out, though? Who wants to find out? That's the real question.
Yeah.
Okay?
Have you even driven that car, or do you just continue to get driven around in it?
I hope I continue to get driven around in it, even though that doesn't actually happen, but I would love that.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on. Let's wrap this up.